Well, it's now post Toy Fair 2025, and I think of all the news and reveals that came from the show, one of the more interesting was Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro, making an announcement about the effects of tariffs on toys, the upcoming proposed tariffs on China, which will include, I guess, all categories of goods. Um, and he said a lot of really interesting things in this interview and it was with Yahoo Finance. I want to make sure I credit them. I'll link to the original article in the description below. And one of the things he discussed was the fact that Hasbro has been deliberately coming up with sort of cost saving measures over the last 2 years. And I'm kind of glad to see this in print because I think we've all seen this in the toy aisle. Things like losing deco on belts, um, having, instead of Build-A-Figure pieces, having universally tooled accessories like the Infinity Gauntlet. Well, Adam, the Adam Warlock figure that comes with a comic book of Infinity Gauntlet, but all the figures in that wave come with the same tool, just with a different sticker on it. Or like the Secret Wars wave, they all came with the same shield. So you only have to tool that once, and it becomes everyone's accessory. It's a lot less expensive than a fully tooled Build-A-Figure. But honestly, I applaud Hasbro for this, and I know people will be like, "What? You're applauding Hasbro for cheaping out?" Well, no. They were holding the line, guys. The other big thing that he really brought up is how small the margins are in the toy industry. And I'm always hesitant to give exact numbers because, well, I guess for legal reasons, but I can obviously discuss what he said publicly in this Yahoo Finance article interview. And yeah, I mean, he talked about how tiny the margins are. And to me, the fact that Hasbro has been able to maintain a 6-inch figure, and Mattel too, at the price they are, right now we're at, $24.99. For all the schlack that, I think people say about how expensive the figures are getting, Hasbro really should, they're like, these are not driving the revenue. I mean, I understand why Chris Cox wants to get out of making toys and figures in general. Hasbro's strategy of getting into just IP ownership and doing digital toys and card games. Yes, I mean, these things are so expensive and they just don't make that much money. Uh, and now, yes, so with that sort of elephant addressed in the room is how small the margins are, and the fact that we've been getting a lot of cost cutting measures, but without they were smart. They were the best. It's like, and I know because I've been in these guys' shoes. Having to cost cut DC Universe Classics or Masters of the Universe Classics when I was at Mattel, or the Jakks Big Figs. Oh my God, so much cost reduction we had to figure out with that line. We were trying the smallest possible packaging and coming up with, ways to bring these figures in at cost is very difficult. And God, I'm not trying to be a Hasbro apologist. I'm just trying to, again, address and explain this stuff. So the other big point in the article was the tariffs. And if they go through, and I do say if, because, if tariffs are usually used as a bargaining chip, they're usually not the final, checkmate or anything. But anyway, we'll keep an open mind. I don't want this video to become political at all, I'm just talking about business. So let's assume that the tariffs do go forward. They'll absolutely get passed on to customers, and everything he said about, because Hasbro, Mattel, any toy company, they can't absorb that cost. They can't. But again, I think that's a worst case scenario. We don't necessarily know. I'm glad he's addressed them, but I wouldn't worry quite yet, until we, yes, he's got to talk about what they're doing to prepare for these tariffs, but I feel like it's not time to start, saying that the sky is falling. And I'm just talking purely from an economic standpoint and how historically the threat of tariffs has worked. I mean, for hundreds of years. So it's a very common economic, move countries may have been making against each other for centuries. So, and it's usually a bargaining chip, not, again, the final say in things. So that's why I'm not really too free, But yes, if we're talking about $30 Marvel Legends and $25 Star Wars Vintage Collection, that's going to be tough. But just think that's going to rattle through the entire economy, too. It's not just us toy collectors. I think we think of ourselves like we're the only ones. I mean, look at the price of eggs. We all know everything costs more. And so yeah, in conclusion, toy industry not making much money. Cost reductions we've seen over the past few years have been deliberate, but justified and necessary. And without them, we would already be at $30. And then finally, as they say in The Simpsons, would you say it's time to panic and scoop out our neighbors' brains and eat them? No, I wouldn't, Kent. Not now. Not yet. There's too much else in the world to worry about. Let's not worry about things that haven't happened yet. But do know that if they do happen, yes, absolutely, costs will go up. Prices will go up. That's how it works. I mean, as Hasbro was very clear, they can't just absorb that. All right. I hope that kind of clarified some of the questions I've seen in the the below thing, the comment section. Were you guys right? And I read them and I comment back and we talk about stuff. So yeah, meet me there. And if you like this video, please do pass it to others. It's the best way to support this channel. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video.